Shorts it for Cooper. Hits him in stride. Cooper stays in bounds for the touchdown. Wow. Formation. Elliott bangs through and scores.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Space Cowboy here. Welcome back to the channel. And today, have some unfortunate breaking news. Travis Frederick is retiring from professional football at the age of 29. It's unfortunate, but, you know, this is something that we thought might happen. We didn't, we thought, hey, everything's okay. But, unfortunately, things just didn't work out. Unfortunately, with the illness that he had suffered in 2018 and the way he was looking in 2019, I think he just didn't feel like he was playing up to par. But more importantly, his health obviously is what's important, and I don't want to fully speculate on his retirement, but obviously that's his choice. And so this kind of puts us in a bit of a loop of what do the Cowboys do. Now, keep in mind that I've always said that the offensive line is the building block to your offense. If you do not have a good offensive line, you will not have a good offense. Okay. And so when you have the offensive line making up 45% of your offense, 5 players of the 11 that are on the field at any given time, it is important that you have a good rotation if need be, and solid players there at that. The Cowboys have been able to rely on this luxury of having a fantastic offensive line for years, but when you have the big three of Tyron Smith, Travis Frederick, and Zach Martin as they enter their 30s, which is crazy, you have to start thinking about the future, and I think the Cowboys have been thinking about that. Obviously, as we get further into the careers, more mileage is on their body. We see what's happening with Tyron. Zach Martin's been having a couple issues here and there. Travis had the illness, but for the most part, he's remained healthy. But with that being said, we have unfortunately to say goodbye to Travis Frederick. So he is no longer with us. Now that leaves the question of what do we do at center? Obviously, we have a couple options. The Cowboys are not going to be blindsided. Yes, the Cowboys do have options, and they could possibly have the ability to take a center if they really, really, really want this center and feel that they are the best option that we need, and we go young. There are a couple options. There's the guy out of Wisconsin. I think there's a guy out of USA. I forget, unfortunately. I'm not really fully up to date on most prospects because I wait until free agency is over to really come to the conclusion of what I think the Cowboys need to do. However, we do have some in-house options. Currently, the Cowboys have Joe Looney. Joe Looney, we've seen him as the starter before in 2018. He played all 16 games, and he did really well considering the backup position and what we're used to seeing in Travis. Travis was the best center in the league, in my opinion, and unfortunately, his services will be missed. I don't think you're going to get a center on his level any near time soon. So we have to make do with what we have. But the Cowboys are prepared. So right now we have Joe Looney as the starting center currently. This is your offensive line going into 2020 for now. Obviously, I think things will change. Now the question is Joe Looney the full-time answer? Like, is he going to... Well, I said in a post before and on Twitter that there is some guy that the Cowboys drafted in 2019 that I think will ultimately take the job from Joe Looney because I think he has a higher ceiling than Joe Looney. And if you don't know who I'm referring to Connor McGovern, our third-round selection in 2019. Now, if you're not familiar with Connor, he is from Penn State. I'm a Penn State fan. He played center, and then he started playing guard. So he has familiarity with both those positions. Now, I do believe the Cowboys will have a competition with Looney and McGovern to determine who they think is the best guy going forward. However, I do ultimately believe McGovern will be the guy going forward. Unless he's bad, but we have yet to see him. He had a torn pectoral muscle that ended his 2019 campaign, so we really didn't get to see what he could do. But I really do think that he can do the job, and we don't have to spend a high draft pick on a center yet. You know, we still have 3 years with him under contract, which is good because now the Cowboys can afford to, they have time. Yes, they brought Joe Looney back on a one-turn deal. I understand that. And the fact of the matter is that, the Cowboys, like I will say, they have options. They've really bolstered the depth on this offensive line. And, now you have a situation to where Joe Looney, you don't have to just be handicapped by, we only have Joe Looney, we can't get better. And like I mentioned, you have plenty of prospects out there that you can draft in this draft, and there will be plenty more coming down the road. So the Cowboys have their avenues open to them. Now, we have to answer another question. What happens in the event we lose Tyron Smith? Because we have known that he's been prone to injury issues. So, what do we do in the instance in which we lose Tyron Smith? Let's say he's the next one to retire. Well, I think the Cowboys' plan would be to slide Connor Williams. Obviously, we got a lot of Connors now. Now it's going to get confusing. You slide him down to left tackle, or over to left tackle. I think what you would probably do is you would slide McGovern to left guard, and you would have Joe Looney as your center, in the event that Tyron is the next domino to fall. Now, once again, Joe Looney is this, he's your temp guy. Like, you're not going to have him forever. He's going to be 30 during the season. Zach Martin will be 30, and I feel like Zach Martin will be fine. And then, you have Lyle, who's going to be 27 at the start of next season. So, the Cowboys, their offensive line, their key pieces are getting older. But if the Cowboys can stay young and continue to find good talent on the offensive line, not all pro status, but if they can make it so that they can do their job, ultimately protecting number 4 is the number one thing, or whoever the quarterback is in the future. So, I don't know what's going to happen. I believe that, look, if the Cowboys want to spend a high draft pick on a center, that 17th overall pick, or they trade down and get a center like they did before with Travis, that's fine. I think that ultimately the Cowboys will make the right decision. I think that they really have no wrong pick they can go with because, in the event that one of these players retires, you have to be ready. That's why you had to make sure that you have, picks. And again, look, we figured, and I think we even said this back, last year. I said that in the event that Travis is to go, you have McGovern to be the replacement or the stand-in until you get another guy in an upcoming draft. So, when you look at how things are going, it sucks. Players will retire, players get older, they get more mileage put on them. And yes, this move, if you're wondering, does open up cap space for the Cowboys. I believe it opens up between $6 to $7 million right now, and depending on when he files his retirement paperwork, will determine how much dead cap if the Cowboys do get some. But with that being said, with the Cowboys now having some more cap space open, gives them more flexibility in free agency as well, what they want to do with re-signing their own players. So I don't want to go on for super long. It's almost 10 minutes. But if you've enjoyed the content, please make sure to hit the video with a like button. But I don't really care how you phrase it. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for new content. And I want to hear what you guys have to say in the comments section below. Do you think the Cowboys were adequately prepared for this? Do you think they need to spend a high draft pick on a center? Not necessarily a first round pick, but maybe a second round pick if someone falls to them. What is your ideal plan regarding the Travis Frederick retirement? Unfortunately, he's not here anymore. thank you, Travis, for everything you've done for the Cowboys. We will miss you, and have a happy, healthy retirement. With that being said, guys, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys. Bye-bye.
I used to live in Sin Cities like Bruce Willis, but I'm Jackie Chan, karate chopping, I'm still kicking. I used to be chopped and screwed, I'm little flipping. Now I'm nice, Mike Jordan, so who's pimping? I'm running man, you the running man, you still slipping. I hit records, you swinging, it's still